Good afternoon and welcome to Road Gateway Rotary Club. Can't hear? I'll try to get closer. Jenny's going to adjust the volume. Thank you. And I think Cindy Grondal, who's on Zoom land today, is going to, oh, she's got a little flag there. She's going to lead us in the pledge.
Here's for all you Zoomers here. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And Jim Huber, you have an inspiration for us today.
This is from a historian and author named Yuval Noah Harari. He says, this is the best reason to learn history, not in order to predict the future, but to free yourself of the past and imagine alternative destinies.
Very nice. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, looking around the room for, I know we have one visiting Rotarian who's an old friend of ours, Mr. John Chavoni is visiting us from the Friday Club. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Anybody on Zoom land? It looks like just us chickens. We have a first posting for a new member. Zara Dar is here. She has applied to become a member. So a couple postings and we should be able to get her in. Any other guests that I'm missing? Doesn't look like it. All right. Well, welcome to everyone. And we have a couple of other member recognitions. So one, I'd like to see Jenny Jackson come on up. Jenny, get her blue badge.
Thank you.
Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Just in time, Jenny has graciously agreed to be a new board member for us this next year. So welcome to the group and thank you so much.
This is my second red badge, my first
Blue badge. That's right, because you've been through this before.
Yep.
That is right. Well, congratulations. All right. And then another presentation that I want to make, if Jim Huber could come up. Surprise, surprise. Getting into all kinds of trouble. No, Mr. Huber, who will be our president next year, has been a very wonderful and generous supporter of the Rotary Foundation, and I want to present him with his first Paul Harris Fellow Award.
Oh, you guys.
Oh.
Instead of doing it after.
Should I open it up?
Yeah.
Do Jenny's afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bev. Thank you, Jim. All right, so some announcements. Wildlife Images, we are having an all club, our annual, it's become an annual, although we had to miss it for a few years because of COVID. Annual all club social at Wildlife Images. It will be on May 11th. I believe it starts at 5:30. There's a sign-up sheet in the back. So we need RSVPs so we can get a head count for the food. It's $25 for adults, $12 for children 12 and under. This is a family-friendly event. There'll be lots of animal encounter opportunities. So you'll get to tour around Wildlife Images and meet some animals. And then Papa Terrell's Barbecue will be providing food. Wildflower Bakery will be providing some desserts, and there will be beer and wine served as well for those who are interested in those libations. Should be a lot of fun. So again, if you just want to sign up on the sheet in the back, if you're here, if you're on Zoom land, if you just email me, and you can just indicate how many people are coming, and checks should be written to our Rotary Club, and then we'll get all of our payments over to the Grants Pass Club, who's managing the finances for it. Is there anything else? Any questions about that? Wildlife Images, May 11th, and we'll have to double check the sheet, but I'm pretty sure it starts at 5 or 5:30. It's all the information is on the sheet in the back. Perfect. All right, I have a sad announcement to make. I don't know if anybody saw in the Courier yesterday in the obituaries page. One of our very long-term members, Helen Scott, has passed away, sadly. So I didn't see a lot of information. It says, memorial service to come, I think. So we'll try to see if there's some more information. We try to gather a card that we can maybe send around to send to her family. But I know for some of you who've known her for a long time, I don't know if anybody wanted to share anything, their memories of Helen. I know Tommy wanted to say something, but she will definitely be missed.
I hope I can get through it. Anyway, Helen Scott was an absolutely terrific person. She worked with my husband Malcolm on the UGB, Urban Growth Boundary, and they worked on a lot of county road committees and things like that together. Different sides of the fence, but they still agreed on everything, got along terrifically. Trenner, her husband, sometimes would come to those meetings and work with Malcolm too. So that was great. She also ran a bookstore with Ruth, who was what? Yes, McGregor, who was a member of our club at one point. And I think that Ruth has gone back to Colorado to have her kids take care of her and stuff, because she's not, she's a polio survivor. So, but they ran a great bookstore. It was such a fun bookstore. And listed in the paper that she's 87. She has all of her kids left alive and her husband. And so they'll all be taking care of each other and through this hard time and stuff. So anyway, she was just a great Rotary member when she could be here. And she was coming the last few months on the phone, Zoom, because she had to take care of Trenner, which is kind of ironic. So anyway, I'll give you guys $5 later on for a celebration of life of a wonderful person, and it's sad that she's no longer with us, but anyway.
Yeah, thank you. Brenda.
I just want to add that Ruth and Helen were an amazing duo, best friends. And they ran their business together. And Ruth was as active as a Democrat as Helen was a Republican. And they loved each other. They worked together. They created good things together. So should we can do it.
Yeah. Anybody else on Zoom? All right, well, we will keep her family in our thoughts and try to get a card to send around next week so that we can send our well wishes to them. Okay. If there are not any other announcement, I think I'm about to, hold on, wait 1 second, Don Welch. Oh, that's right, we have another. We have another sad.
We do. There's another sad tribute to make, and that is Charlie Seagrave's son, Chuck, just passed away recently. And Charlie is an honorary member of this club, and for many years was actually the only token Democrat of the Wednesday Club. So that's a joke. Retired attorney, full of life and humor, and an incredibly thoughtful man. And his son, Chuck, I'll tell one quick story. Here's my memory of Chuck. We just moved into Grants Pass. Charlie and his wife, Joanne, and the family lived across the street. And we lived on Washington Boulevard. So right before Halloween, I remember poor little Chuck, who wasn't all that old and kind of in that sort of teen awkward stage, knocked on our door and he said, "My mother Joanne wanted you to know that for Halloween, you're going to see 1,000 kids. So get your candy ready." Anyway, he was a yes. So yes, you were, but they brought everybody in. So here's a card that I'm sending around. Hopefully somebody has a pen. I couldn't find mine, to write something to Charlie, and we'll send it off.
Thank you, Don. All right, we were supposed to be having a vocational presentation from Dan Mata, but he woke up not feeling very well this morning. And so rather than sharing his germs with us, Doug has agreed to jump in and fill in for us with some activities.
Yep, and So all of you in Zoom land, you're going to be asked to do something here in a minute too. Hopefully Gina Marie will transcribe for me. I'm going to try to delay this. Josh, you're a 4, okay? 5 being perfect, 4 is, so you're just right there, okay? Right, so you're a 4. All right, so anyway, I'm going to try to go a little slow so you all can finish eating, so hurry up. All right, get done, because I'm going to make you move around. But I want to say something about Helen Scott too. I didn't know her very well, but I knew her through the club a little bit, but she was chemical engineer, which is pretty amazing for a woman her age at that timeline. So that's pretty impressive. And she was always very willing to share her experiences as a chemist, somebody going through college, but also her life. She was, or her family, they owned forest land and they logged. And that was very interesting. And to listen to her talk about that was really fantastic. And having not been a logger or somebody that owned land to try to think about it in a financial point to try to make money at it, I was like, oh, go get a chainsaw and go cut some trees down. But to hear that whole perspective about taxes and logging and how to make money and all of that was really a fascinating thing. And I really appreciated her being willing to share all that and everything. Okay, you all done eating? All right, Brenda. Just going around. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do another sort of get to know you thing, and we're going to break up into groups of 1 through 5. And the task is going to be for all of you to think about your writing your own obituary. All right. And that either the first sentence or the most interesting part of the obituary, right? And then your table is going to decide which one is the one to expand on, which is the most interesting starting point. Okay. And then you're going to expand on that. And then we're hopefully, we'll get you to, talk about it out loud when we're done to have a little fun. Okay. So obituary, either the starting sentence or the middle section or whatever it is that's fun. You're all going to do that. And then you're going to then pick the one you like the most, expand on it. And then we're going to talk about it afterwards. Okay. So how about, because this table won't stop rocking. That's table number 1 where Margaret is, right? That's table number 1. Back corner, Deb, you're table number 2. Josh, you're 3, even though you're a 4, really, in my book. 4 and a half. You understood. I really paused when I was going 5. Was I going to say he's a 10 from scale of 1 to 10, or 1 being good? I had to think about that for a minute. So Josh is a 3. 4 is over here. And why don't we do? Does this table, is that flat? Okay, so this table is going to be a 5. That table's not very good. All right. Anyway, so 4 is maybe 4 goes to the ping pong table. Okay. And take your time. And then Kelly Moody is going to be our sergeant of arms. You're in charge of Zoom. Yeah. Can you transcribe those instructions?
All right, Zoom land, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to, let's see. All right, I'm gonna try to see if I can hear you guys through the laptop here.
Everyone looks like they're muted.
I'm always
hear
used to
me?
being muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I unmuted myself.
I can hear you. Okay, so Zoom land guys, I think our assignment has been to see here. Maneuver this around. Looks better. Okay, so does everybody have anybody have a sentence prepared, or you need a few more minutes to think about what your what the most interesting line in your obituary would be? This is a tough one.
I have one.
Go ahead, Mike.
Michael loved animals. And then I'll list about 25 different animals that I've had for pets.
Okay, I'm having trouble here. Let's see here.
Recording in progress.
Okay. I might not be able to hear you guys.
That might be tough.
So I can kind of hear you, but I think I'm creating an echo.
You're fine.
You can hear me fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So I'll just ignore the echo. So does anybody have any thoughts about a interesting line for an obituary?
I gave mine already.
I keep thinking something about trees that I haven't been able to, I mean, it just isn't, it's not clicking for me. I think I need to go walking in some trees. I need some
Right,
forest
walking
breathing.
trees. Yeah.
I think I would start out with the quote about traveling. I'm going to look it up and I'll tell you what it is.
Okay. Trying to think from me. I don't know, probably something about always traveling the country by car, but always coming back home to Oregon. This is a hard one.
Yeah, tell me when I'm going to die and, or what the assumption is, and then it's going to come easier.
Is it gonna come easier?
Oh,
All right,
geez.
Patty. Let's see here.
Oh,
Yeah, like if it's next year, it might be something different than if it's 10 years from now.
Yeah, no, it's not
That's
next
true.
year. You're sticking around for a while longer than that.
So can it be funny?
Of course. It should be, yeah. Something really interesting, humorous.
I've got it.
This is
didn't
what
go-
I
she
came up
didn't-
with.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what did you come up with, Cindy?
Are you ready? This is kind of silly. Says passionate fourth generation Oregonian that worked and played hard. There you go. That's
Oh.
it.
Good.
Perfect.
All right, I've got one. She didn't go everywhere, but it was on her list.
Oh, I love that
awesome.
one.
That's
That's
good.
great. She didn't go everywhere, but it was on her list. I like it. I like it.
I'm going to be thinking of this. So can I call you guys like at midnight tonight?
That's when it'll come.
That's exactly.
Believe it or not, my grandmother wrote her obituary, so she had it all organized. Had her funeral paid for, but she was a teacher, went to college in the 20s, which was not, and got her teaching certificate and taught in single, schoolhouse, 1 through 5 grades up in the Azalea area.
Wow.
Wow.
My mom. did.
Claudia, do you have yours written? Oh, maybe she's
No,
not. Oh,
actually. Oh, wait,
I was hearing you. Now I can't hear you again.
oh, well,
There we go.
okay. No, actually, I was in a phone meeting while our meeting started, so I didn't even know what we were doing here, but how about you may delay, but time will not.
Oh, there. Good.
Well, that's a quote
Good.
from Benjamin Franklin, so I just took this opportunity to look for stuff on my phone.
Right.
That's good. That's good. How about you, Pat? Let's see, we have Pat, Janie, who else is there? And Jan Jones. And Lisa. Lisa, did you have one?
You know, I have worked on my obituary, and what I did was some of my friends who passed away, I took theirs and looked at them and said, gosh, I really like the way that. And my biggest thing is going to be my children who have survived me and my grandchildren, and that to be my legacy. And one thing that was the most traumatic of my life was grandson. And really it's in my kids, my grandkids.
Yeah. How about you, Pat?
I don't have anything clever. Mine's just the family, and most people that know me probably know that I share books with other people. That and camping would be my three things, but unless you count politics.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
World a better place.
That's an this is an interesting thing to think about.
It
It
is.
is.
You know, it's like, wow. It's like, oh, how do you get clever talking about yourself post-mortem? When
like
you're
it.
pre-mortem.
Right.
We put
But
in
I like
our,
they do working on it in advance. I read a story about a gentleman who was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and he and his wife worked on his obituary for a long time, and he was a comic writer, I think, and so they made it really humorous. And they worked with the family to kind of add pieces to it, and they'd had it written, you know, for 6 months before he eventually passed. But
Wow.
it was a very humorous story, essentially.
like he lived his life.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just turned 81, so obituaries are a little bit more relevant, I think, to my situation.
Yeah.
Getting there, so.
Wow. Congratulations, Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you.
81.
Thank you.
Okay, so I haven't ever thought about an obituary because I probably won't have one. But if there was one, it would be she had as much fun as she could possibly find.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
that's
I
it.
like it. She had as much fun as she possibly could. I like that. I like that she didn't get everywhere, but she had it on her list.
Great one, Debbie.
A little bit, it's a little bit hard.
And Cindy's was good too.
So, but we've got some first lines.
And Michael.
If somebody actually expands on the obituary,
That's
I'll
awesome.
call it a win. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have everybody read everybody's lines.
Okay. What else? Has anybody read an obituary in the past that stuck with them in terms of how it was written or something that
I
was
just saw
interesting
one.
about it?
I just saw one today. The older brother of a good friend of mine died 86, I think he was 85. out in Kansas, and I knew him when I was growing up, and the way they wrote the obituary was really touching. I thought it was really neat the way they outlined his life and all of his accomplishments. And his name was Don Pratt. I worked for his dad. I worked
Yeah.
for his dad while I went to college.
One of my favorite tombstones is, I told you I was sick. Is Janie on there? Janie, are you there? Or maybe
She said in the
India.
chat that she's busy on a proposal.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe India could offer something.
We put in our guidance after we go. We have this big book of passwords and everything that we didn't want an obituary.
Yeah. I like I'm a fan of cemeteries, and I have taken pictures of a lot of tombstones. And one of the one I like a life is measured in memories, not years.
Yeah.
But now that I'm doing genealogy
Oh,
for my
yeah.
family, I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should do that.
Right? It's a helpful tool for the detectives.
Yeah.
I just found something that someone sent. My partner Larry's brother died last year, and his wife is kind of reeling, and wasn't ready to do anything. You know, there was no obituary, there was no service, there's no nothing. But a friend of his was like, I just can't let this go by. So he made this neat, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it says Richard Miller right there, and remembering Richard Miller. And inside there's cute photos, but it says, how will you remember me? And then it kind of goes through this litany of everything he was. I was a son, I was a brother, I was a student, I was an athlete, I was a teacher, I was a father, I was all these things. But then it says, so, you know, it's a long list, you don't need to hear, but he said, and in all those things, I was a friend. That is how I would like to be remembered. And then it goes on and says, you know, who worked with me and coached me and that kind of stuff. But it did in the end say, remember me as your friend. I hope you treasured me. I treasured you. I was like,
Oh, that's nice. Aw.
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was a very sweet friend of his who decided, you know, I know your wife is she's just not ready to do anything, but I have to do something. So as your friend, yeah.
Well,
That's cool.
that shows that he's a friend. I mean, that shows that your
Was a real-
brother was a real friend to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that lead off. How will you remember me?
Yeah.
You know?
Because once, you know, I mean, it's really true in a couple generations. I mean, your grandchildren will still remember you, but after that.
Mm.
You're childless.
Yeah.
Right.
Long as they keep your picture on the wall, we learned that in Coco, then you're going to be living on in eternity. We can't not have a picture of us on some wall somewhere.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Make it a good one.
No lasts on the internet forever, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh,
But
goodness.
somebody has to bother to look you up, so.
It's true.
I know
Yeah.
what you mean, Debbie, about the cemeteries. I always heard that people are just dying to get in those ones.
Right.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. How about this one? The general somebody or other, due to fear, he spent most of his time in the rear.
Oh,
Not very complimentary ones.
Oh.
Aw, those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day.
Aw.
that is on
Aw.
a park bench in the park. I pass it every day and I copy
Isn't
it.
that
And
sweet?
there's a
Yeah.
second half, they walk beside us. Still. I know the rest of it. Anyway, if you go to Reinhardt Park,
Okay.
there's a plaque
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Actually, it's very hard to read when the sun, unless the sun is just right.
Yeah.
I walk there
Ah.
every day and I think of
Right.
my husband.
Thing I'd like is like a memorial tree planted with maybe like a little plaque someplace meaningful.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What part?
I'm with you. I don't want, I don't want to have anything. Here's another one. When all that's left of me is love, give me away.
Oh,
That's a nice thought.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh, I made some good deals and I made some bad ones. I really went in the hole with this one.
Oh,
There you go.
That's good.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, I don't know who you'll need to tell that to, Gina Marie, because, you know, look at us. We're probably not going to be around when when it's over.
Yeah.
So you better find somebody younger to tell that to.
you know,
Yeah.
right?
Right. I
Yeah.
know my son once told me, Mom, I want to be sure that I have bagpipes at my funeral. And I was like, don't tell me that. I'm not going to be there. My plan is I would never be at your funeral. So
Yeah, I hope so, huh?
yeah.
Oh. Green leaves on a dead tree is our epitaph. Green leaves, dear reader, on a dead tree. I don't know what that means,
you left last.
I guess.
Look, I'll leave that alone.
Oh, you're just full of them, aren't you, Mike? I like it.
All right, I think Doug's gonna bring us back to the group.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Okay.
So
You're the
should we go with
facilitator,
Deb's?
Gina Marie.
I like your first one, Deborah.
All right.
Probably good. Nothing like good bell, huh? Nothing like good bell. He's not done. I'll let you go last. Yeah, you can go last.
I wonder if the others had as much fun as we did.
All right. All right, well then you're last. What number are you? 3. Okay. We are going to see who followed instructions and actually got around to write an obituary.
Oh, we never did that.
Team 4? Team 4 has an obituary, so I'm going to bring the microphone over to them so they can read it. Do you mind doing the camera, Jim Marie? Okay, here we go. We have an obituary, but we changed the rules because that's the kind of people we are.
Okay, so this is an amalgamation of all of
Here.
have 5 obituaries, we have 1.
Right on.
So we place love, hope, and knowledge as strong themes in our life. We are balanced in different perspectives. We treat everyone with respect. We are passionate and resolute and hardworking. And we want that action sooner rather than later. Even if it steps on a few toes.
Now, you guys, because you're giving me a hard time. Who does that obituary? Oh, all right. Okay, all right. Who wants to go in here? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to list a bunch of things that each of us said, and you'll just have to sort of guess, I guess.
Yeah, that's who too.
Who it might be who, but it's all of them together. We all sort of agree. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go for the first one. Well, yeah. Okay, so we said, we're gonna start it with, I want to tell you about this much loved person. And it was just gonna be a compilation of all of us. And the first thing was, Nana taught me to share And my father-in-law told him to do, okay, this is gonna be hard, because we didn't do this. And father-in-law told him to do your giving while you're living, then you're knowing where it's going. And here's another good one. Whatever it was, he didn't mean. I don't know who knows that is. And he didn't mean it, he was just trying to be funny. And it is what it is. That's another one. And they definitely danced like no one was watching. And let's see, you can laugh or you can cry. What do you want to do? It is easier to do what I want. It's easier to get forgiveness than permission. Okay. I needed more meditation and medication. They loved kids and loved dogs. And learned late in life from my children to hug and to love. And let's see. I'm grateful to be alive as long as I have been. A million thanks for all the great and beautiful horizons. And I think I got it all. Okay.
Thanks, before we start with the fact that our group did follow the instructions. This could be an appropriate time to remind the members that were here when Harry Mackin was with our club, and we're talking about these sorts of things. Harry was diagnosed with a very dangerous form of cancer. Given 6 months to live, he lived for about 3 or 4 years. And at one point, under Happy Bucks, he said he was living on borrowed time and he wanted to thank all the people he borrowed it from. So our group started with the last sentence from Zara's obituary, which was, then we asked her some questions and came up with some others that would go before that. Born in Tanzania, and Zara immigrated to the U.S. in 1988 with her husband, Tahir. After 46 years of marriage, she was still thinking about whether to change her last name. She left her 6 grandchildren, 3 in Grants Pass, 1 in Pennsylvania, and 1 in Canada. That reminds me. There are 3 kinds of people in the world. Those that can do math and those that can't. Zara achieved a master's in epidemiology and worked in the healthcare field. Zara was sorry to have left you all.
Was it me? Yep. It's me. Well, this is a schizoid obituary. So too much person for one person. He played guitar, but not very well. Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. And I couldn't run fast enough, then ran out of road.
I like that mic drop.
I think,
I'm gonna put this here just so that the computers hear better.
Don, I think we should guess those ones, because those were kind of single line ones.
Jim is
can't
play guitar well.
I'm gonna, only because I know the answer to this one, but.
Okay.
What's that? Bailey's the runner. Oh, I think you said so. Yeah, Bailey's the runner. What was the other ones?
It was one personality. Okay. Now you want to think what's hard? Okay.
No.
One person, yes. And you got. So when you got me, so I guess.
I actually, I should write down everything else.
Anything worth doing and worth doing.
And that's,
Okay.
all right, we were rebels too, but we're all Rotarians, and that means that we can be rebels. All right, so this is like our together thing. He made people laugh, was kind, reliable, had humor, and was generous. She was feisty to the end. Thank you to my children. Know that I'm still watching you. And the final one, I'm so glad my daughter apologized to me before I died.
Oh, that's a good one there. Cherish that apology. Cherish that apology. Okay, you want to do Zoom? Or let me put that? We've got them. Yeah. How about Zoom up there? Does anybody want to report out on Zoom? Do you guys?
I was gonna say Deb had a good one.
All right, you take it from here.
Deb, you had a nice line. You wanna unmute yourself, Debbie? I think the TV is. Hold on. Yeah, in this day of Zoom meetings, there's got to be some you're on mute.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that
Now
little
we can
button,
hear
you try to punch it and it disappears. She didn't go everywhere, but it was on her list.
Who else had one?
You're muted, Pat.
I like the other one Debbie read. Somebody listed all the things that they'd done, and then in all things, I was a friend.
Oh, yeah, Claudia shared that. Yeah.
Claudia's, yeah, that was good, yeah.
And may you treasure me as I treasure you.
Mhm.
I could add one for Mike.
Yeah.
Mike's like does the most research anybody's ever known. He's a great researcher. That's, I guess, it's not funny. Not being funny, but Mike just is fantastic researcher when it comes to finding stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you hear me or not.
What's that? What was the question?
Doug's bragging about how amazing a researcher you are.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, my obituary started out that Michael loved animals. And then I would go on the list about 25 different wild animals that I've had for pets.
Wow. Yeah. And like part of what Claudia's, the kind of remembrance that Claudia shared from a family friend of hers, it starts off with, how will you remember me? And then listed all of the different roles that person played in different people's lives, son, father, friend. Yeah. Anybody else have anything to share? We get everybody on Zoom? All right. Thank you, Doug, for putting that together at the last minute. Hopefully it was fun. Oh, John Schiavone.
I came here listening to a speaker and I put your work.
It's true, right? A participatory meeting. You can't just sit in the audience and listen. All right. And who is Kelly? Kelly, you are doing Sergeant at Arms. We'll share some happy bucks.
This on there. Yikes.
Okay. So we have a holiday, a couple of them going on. Passover's already begun. It began last night at sundown. And then there's Easter. Easter will be on Sunday. And I don't know about all of you. But when I was a kid, I never made a connection or asked the question of why do we celebrate Easter with bunnies and eggs? Because bunnies don't lay eggs. And so why did we do that? And so if you do something, we highly celebrate it. In fact, it is the biggest commercial symbol of Easter. Yeah. And so why do we do that? And I would have to take you back to the time before Christianity. And during that time, I could go back thousands of years. So in that time, we call the people of that time pagans. And the pagans of that time, well, it was all about goddesses, which I can't say that. And these goddesses, one was named Ishtar. And so I always thought it was Ishtar. But you know how it's really pronounced? Easter. Now that was an old, I'm going to say Babylonian goddess. And she was a fertility goddess. So it was all about renewal. Don't you think it was probably connected also with the beginning of spring? And so what's a good fertility symbol? Well, the egg, because chickens lay a lot of them, and the bunny, because bunnies have lots of litters. And so, you know, the Germans had one too. Well, it's not to be disincluded. The Germans had another one who her name was Eostre, and I think it was pronounced Easter. And she was also a fertility goddess. Well, anyway, what ended up happening was Constantine came into the picture. Emperor Constantine. You got that around 4th century. Became a Christian, had a revelation, became a Christian. But the early church people said, there's no way all these people are going to buy in. So let's keep the old pagan traditions too. So they did. And it was a good thing. Because what ended up happening is it grew together. And some of those traditions ended up being, well, let's keep the eggs going. Let's keep the bunnies going. By the way, Ishtar, the one that is actually pronounced Easter, one or two of her symbols are eggs. Which is, I think, kind of fun. Well, the Germans get involved in this again. And the Germans around, I don't know, the 17th, 18th, early 18th century probably said, let's make money out of this. Let's bring candy to God. You know, candy eggs, candy bunnies, chocolate. So that became part of the scenario and has never left us and has given us lots of joy. One of the things that gives me joy is that pagan tradition and Christianity have never really fought over it. I love that. That to this day, there aren't any issues about it. We just kind of incorporate all of it, don't we? Yeah. And so I just wanted to, I'm going to fast forward because we got to get to the box. I want to share with you what the German kids did way back. They would leave out at night, like people leave Santa cookies at night. No. They left, the German children left carrots. They left carrots and they actually would build nests. But the Easter bunny, especially in Germany, Lutz, I don't know if you knew this. They didn't do all the work alone, and this is what I really loved finding out. The forest got involved. Did you know that the cuckoos help to spread the eggs all around the forest and into people's yards, and couldn't do it all by themselves, so we added foxes. So foxes would carry them in. Moving on. What's new? I have to wash those eggs if they weren't broken. Yes. Well, I haven't about the hour. You know, move on to some happy bucks. What a wonderful celebration, and hopefully all the foxes and cuckoos will bring you Easter eggs. Okay. John, I'm coming to you.
I have quite a lot for happy buck, and one of the things that runs cold. The happy bucks is for, so I've had a meeting with nurses and they were reporting each other and they. I'm sorry. I had a meeting with nurses and just last week, and they brought to my attention that the new Wisconsin hospital is going to be starting next November. They'll have the women's health center on the 6th floor, and then children will be on the 5th floor. And when a woman has a delivery and there's complications, she'll go directly into a NICU. And when she does, first in the nation, it will be that the child has complications, and the mother and the child to stay in the same room, whether it's 3 months, 5 months, and they have vacuum facility, and so it's really so if you get the opportunity for tours, so we'll let them know, and they'll take them. We'll be starting probably in May.
That's at Road Regional.
Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, we're medical center. They get off track there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Jim and I had our first official CASA court date on Tuesday afternoon, and it went really well for our 2 kiddos. We were so excited because they are going to be taken care of extremely well. So high five, happy bucks for that. Nice.
Well, I have 5 happy bucks, and I certainly want to do a shout out for the Driggs, because last night at our city council meeting, we approved an All Care Foundation grant that is putting a water line out for the Driggs have donated land to build a facility for 15 bedrooms. Yeah. And also to open up, which is more excited, other lots to be able to build on too, so that will add more for our housing. So thank you so much for following through and fighting together on that. So thank you.
All right, it's time for us and go to Deb and me. Deb, you got your hand up.
Yes, I do. I have some happy bucks, couple of sad bucks for Helen. Last conversation Helen and I had was right after one of the firestorms in the last couple of years, and we were talking about the challenge of trying to maintain a healthy forest to be able to protect it from the damage of the fires. And what a great job that she and her family had done, because the forest fires only came to the edge of her property. It never destroyed it because of their good work. And so she's left a lot of wonderful things behind. Couple of happy bucks for the literacy effort. Oh my goodness, those 2nd graders out at Redwood are just adorable. And I'm telling you, I think it's like 24 students, and there isn't a single double as far as names, and they have the most unusual names and the most unusual spelling of names. And I have to write in my phone after I read with each of the kids, otherwise I can't remember from one week to the next what their names are. I guess that's my age too. Maybe that was a sad buck. And then finally, I'm going to add 40 more happy bucks. And this is for, I just got back from Breckenridge skiing with a friend of ours, Janie. Janie and I have been skiing together now for over 40 years. This was our 40th year together. We were 2 single moms and I had 3 boys. She had 1 boy. They were all under the age of 10, and we flew to Vail and skied with them for a spring break way back when. And as we were moving, I was going through stuff in papers, and I found the packet of all the information from that ski trip, including the grocery bill. We bought groceries for a week for the 7 of us, or six of us, for $117. So all good stuff. Maybe that was a sad buck. Thanks.
I got a happy buck, today, just before I came to our meeting, I spent 2 hours at grocery outlet for the stuff the truck for the food bank. So if you have so inclined to do so, stuff the truck is still going to go on until 3 o'clock today at the grocery outlet. One of the gals that I helped, she literally got a $200 cart. I went and helped her load the cart and stuff up for $200 worth of food, which was fabulous and stuff. And I mean, we got a lot to go a long ways. And I will ransom Charlie's card for my pen. Yes, that was my only pen in one person. I never like that. So if you don't have a pen, I forget that again. My purse. I am being $5, dragging myself out from Hawaii, where it was really nice and warm and no snow. But my happy bucks are for first, I got to see whales. Humpback whales, a mom and her baby, probably several moms and her babies. And they call them consort, they're women, escort. Some males that kind of hang around wishing they could be with them, but they're not allowed to be too close. And we went out in a boat, we saw these things, it was just amazing to learn all about humpback whales and to see them fairly up close. They do keep you a distance from them. And then we also saw turtles, Hawaiian green sea turtles that come up on the beach to take a little rest and just lie there, and they have dozens to go out and rope them off so that nobody bothers them. And Greg wanted to know why they didn't do that, just for some of the people who were out there. Anyway, it's great. The wildlife is great.
Continue on the theme of Easter, and also in honor of all you people out there who I know like to read. There's a novel by John Irving. It's called A Prayer for Owen Meany. And Owen Meany is this interesting guy, and I don't remember the exact quotation, but basically he says somewhere in the novel something to the effect that anybody can believe in Christmas, but it takes a true believer to believe in Easter. And then one more thing, it's our 34th anniversary this Saturday. My wife has put up with me that many years. So.
I see a hand,
And it's still Jen.
oh, it's Deb, okay, all right, have we got, well, so, yesterday I participated in a listening session. Yesterday I participated in a Grand Pass High School club, the people of color at the high school basically, and they asked that different administrators and teachers just listen to their stories. And you know, I really just finished the Road Gateway Reads between the listening and the telling. And I had a quote already, but it's basically about everybody has a story. And Maya Angelou's got a quote in there saying, there is no greater agony than a story untold. And that listening and telling stories is how we build relationships. And so it was, you know, kind of heartbreaking to listen yesterday to the stories of racism in our community. You know, one girl mentioned how because she's Black, a teacher came, or a person came up to her and said, you know, what are your plans after high school? And she said, well, I want to be a lawyer. And then the response was, oh, what segment of the Black population are you going to serve? You know, so that's kind of heartbreaking. Well, it was someone in the school system. And then, you know, I think of how in an implicit bias, workshop. It is a human condition to look at someone, put them in a box so they can deal with what's coming next. And unless you know that you're putting somebody in a box, you've got this implicit bias going on. And so that's what happened. He said, and then she's got a very American, this one girl has a very American first name and a very Polish last name. And so someone came up to her and said, oh, what part of Africa are you from? You know, she was obviously just unthinkingly put her in a box and then acted on that implicit bias. And so that awareness of what's going on in their lives is part of the solution of moving forward. So that's my little sermon for today.
Okay, on a silly note, what's more commercially correct than peeps? So anybody who wants children or grandchildren, I've got 4 boxes of peeps to take. And whoops. Have you ever seen hot tamale peeps? It's like something new. And then finally, one other thing too, if we don't know this, that today is also New Beer's Eve Day. So thank you, Lucy, for drinking beer.
All right, yes, I saw that it was New Beer's Eve Day because I think that tomorrow is the anniversary of the end of Prohibition. So that's where that comes from. So yeah, enjoy your beer. All right. Next week's program should be our club's 4-way speech contest. And then the following week will be the area contest where the winners from the other clubs come compete. So that should be a great program. We hope to have that next week. And thought of the day today, in addition to being New Beer's Eve Day, is National Library Day, which is a soft spot in my heart. And so I have a quote here from Elizabeth Taylor. The privilege we have in this country to borrow books from our public libraries is quite wonderful, really. It empowers all of us to keep on learning and exploring throughout our lives. That's very special because life is all about growing, changing, and opening ourselves up to new ideas and information. So if you have a chance, thank a librarian, go check out a book, and we will see you all through next week. Thank you.